Bye.
Bye. We have John from Thunder Bay. Are you there, John?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Yeah.
Actually, this is for you.
Guys, change the camera.
Your phone's kind of breaking up. It's hard to hear. So.
Oh, my phone's breaking. Anyways, I was wondering, what is the definition of the word?
We didn't hear it. Sorry. Say it again.
Are you on a cell phone?
No, I'm on a regular landline.
This is weird.
Well, try to get out your question again, and we might take it so that you're off the air because you're breaking up so much that we can only hear bits and pieces of what you're saying.
That's strange.
So try it again, please.
What your definition of evil?
Evil.
Okay.
Okay.
Actions taken that conflict with my moral values.
I don't like that.
Okay. Cool. Well, since we can't talk to him, you and I can discuss
okay.
it. Why don't you like it?
Well, I think that when people bring up the word evil, they want to sort of associate this thing. They want to anthropomorphize this thing that's out there, away from humans, that has two horns and runs around and makes you do things or whatever. Like the devil or whatever. And in a sense, the word has become so meaningless because of this sort of connotation. I like to focus instead on harm. That all humans have the potential to harm other humans.
But hang on.
And
he asked what my definition of evil was.
Well,
I gave it, and you objected. And now you're going to harm. Hang on. You're going to harm. Is all harm evil? Would harm fit evil? I mean, I've burnt my hand, but that doesn't make it evil. That's harm.
I would say it's the propensity that humans have to do harm to one another. Is the equivalent of this supernatural thing to evil, but you don't need to use any supernatural thing, any supernatural concept to explain it.
And I didn't.
You didn't.
What about my definition?
Well, your definition is whatever's in your head, and it's like, well, that doesn't help me. It's not useful. It's not practical.
That's not my problem.
I can't do anything with it.
Actions taken that conflict with my moral values.
Yeah, but that's subjective, and that's
exactly
right. So so that's why I don't like it.
But that is a problem with the term and the application. That's not a problem with the definition.
All right. Well. I just don't think anybody's going to be satisfied with that.
I wasn't expecting anybody to be satisfied with it.
Yeah.
That was the point.
Uh-huh.
The actual word is useless.
We agree on.
This construct. Yeah. We evaluate things with respect to what our moral values are. Now, we share a ton of those. We have, by and large, most sane, rational people share a lot of the same values, and therefore we would have the same assessments. The reason I put my moral values in there is because, as I've said about 1,000 times, ultimately I am the arbiter of what I find morally good and morally evil, what I find morally correct. It's all judged with respect to me. That doesn't mean that I'm some autonomous, dogmatic, godlike being who's going to dictate what's right and wrong for everybody else. It happens that my moral values are the same or similar to most people on most things, and it's because we're similar creatures in similar circumstances.
We're made from the same stuff.
We have the same goals and desires. Granted, there's always exceptions. So when somebody says to me, "What's your definition of evil?" it's really simple. It is actions taken that conflict with my moral values. That doesn't mean that the word is useful, or that it gives somebody else any clear understanding of what they would think is evil, because I don't. That wasn't the question. There's a broader
another
discussion.
Thing that comes up with this evil is it tries to separate evil from humanity, and the fact is that if you have power, you have the potential to do harm to others. So you have the potential to do evil things, and we have to be able to not say it's something out there. We have to admit that it's something that could be in here. It's something that that I could potentially do harm to someone, and I have to be responsible not to let that happen. and it's up to me to do that.
I completely agree.
So,
And
so that's another thing that
I like the aspect of relating it to harm done by humans against others. I like that. But the ultimate, the reason why I went this way is because you're making a moral assessment. You're evaluating something to determine where it fits on the spectrum, and therefore you must be evaluating it with respect to your thing. It would be, we would be in agreement then. We both have this same value, that is, people taking actions intentionally to harm others. That's a value that we would hold, and when comparing actions to that, we would evaluate them as evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But putting the label on it doesn't help very much.
The label is
almost useless.
Yeah, especially because of the
supernatural connotations and all that. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. So hopefully we answered the guy's question.
Jason in Denver, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. I've been listening to your guys' show not very long, and I just want to thank you so much for what you're doing.
Oh, great. I think you're going to ask a question that's directly related to what we just talked about.
Well, it's ironic because I hadn't been able to catch the show until just a few seconds ago when I called in. But I did want to kind of start off by just saying that I'm kind of in a transitional stage, and I am.
There are no transitional stages. Oh, sorry.
Well, I've been a Christian my whole life, and I'm just totally fed up with what I see in religion. So,
good
anyway,
for you.
So
you should be.
Appreciate what you guys are doing. But here's the question. Now, from what I've been kind of coming to myself is that, our survival instincts as humanity, as humans, have kind of brought us to our moral, the place we are morally, right? We have developed our morality based on, our survival of our species.
Well, our evolution and the fact that we're a cooperative society or cooperative species not only helped us achieve all the great things we have in our communication and language and technology, but it also gave us a lot of moral background as well, that we have the brains to empathize with people, and we can understand the suffering of others and try to reduce that harm and that sort of thing. And that those are some of the things that play into the morality that we have. Yes.
Right. Right. Now, my question is when you see extreme evil, like, for instance, Hitler or Pol Pot, people like that, it's like that obviously has something, it's something different. It's like that kind of evil, you don't even see that in nature.
Well, there are people who have developmental issues or issues from their growing up where their empathy has been sabotaged, and in many cases where they're sociopaths, you find that these people have had their empathy sabotaged either organically through some sort of deformation in their brain or whatever, or through some sort of childhood trauma where they had it beaten out of them. So I won't say that that's the pat explanation in all cases, but that's certainly one thing that can lead to this sociopathology. And I don't know in Hitler's case or Pol Pot's case whether those were the case, but that certainly is true of a lot of people who are in jail, for really heinous crimes.
Right, and it seems to be unique to our species almost, that evil.
Well, we know more about our species, so I don't know if I'd make that generalization because when you see an animal that has been abused its whole life, it's not a normal animal, right? Like a dog or something, right?
That's true.
But we have, in human society, we have to be pretty highly functioning in order to participate properly. A lot of stuff has to fall into place for it to work, and so I think, are more aware of the people for whom that doesn't happen, and that there's some sort of incomplete development.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I had one other quick question that has to do with my main hang-up with atheism, and I need a little clarity from you guys, because religion itself is it's very deprived, and I totally agree with you guys that from the fundamental fundamental perspective, it's very destructive. But when I look at atheism and I look at natural selection, it seems to me that based on natural selection, that we have a causal, I'll use the word causal, reason for mass murder of like people with handicaps or people who are inferior. Why doesn't atheism, at its fundamental state, not based on what just moderates believe, but at its fundamental state, why does that not